Hi, first grade. So we're back with Art Regis, and we're back to the elements of art. So just like we did before in Art Regis, we worked with some of the elements of art, the ABCs of art. We're going to do that again. If you remember, we worked on with all different types of lines. Lines have a beginning and an end. They're just a start and an end, and maybe a squiggly line or a straight line going left and right or up or down, or you can get a little fancier as we go with thick lines, thin lines, or squirrels. Then we have shapes, geometric and organic. You can do buildings with shapes. You can do hearts. You can do leaves, clouds, all kinds of fun things with shapes. Shapes are just an enclosed line, so they go from one-dimensional to two-dimensional. And then we have color, and we're going to work with color today. Color is so fun. And we are also going to use these other elements of design, texture with a cotton ball and some tissue paper, and space and size, small versus big on the paper. You guys will get to be the creator of your project, so you'll be using those different types of elements. And then value with shading. I'm going to show you guys a little shading technique. It brings interest into your art. So we're going to do some shading with some of the oil pastels or crayons, like a dark blue, light blue, and white or gray. And that's kind of shading because that's all the same kind of color of blue, but you're doing some shading. So we're going to work with those today on this project. That's a reminder of those. Anytime you're working with art or visuals, you want to use the elements of design. So what are we doing today? Well, here's something that we're creating today. This is one of them. There's 3 templates. This is one. The template for this one looks like this. But this is a finished product. So what this is a cutout. It's a shape cutout of a hat that covers your ears. This is a one that covers your ears. And what I did here is this is just blue paper, and I colored with white crayon or white oil pastel, which is my favorite. I like the oil pastels. And I did kind of a rainbow line to connect, and I just outlined it. And you can see I followed the outline to just kind of work with the hat this way. So we are going to make another hat, this time from start to finish, and it's the shape of this one, which is pretty much your standard ski hat, which is kind of fun. So you put it on your piece of paper. You're going to get blue. Everybody's going to get a blue piece of paper, and they're all different shades, which will be kind of fun. Again, that value coming back. So step 1, what do? We're going to go in here and trace with a pencil on your colored piece of paper the template. And there's not enough templates for everybody to have one, so you guys have to share. So you have to kind of wait for your template to come available and then go ahead and trace. But when it's time to trace, it can be really fast. You just use a pencil and trace. Once you're done with that, I want you to outline it. So pick a color and have a color ready that I want you to outline your drawing. So once you trace it, just outline it. This is a brown, and I'm just going around where the pencil was. And you want to be kind of careful so that you make sure that you keep the shape, but you don't need to worry about it too much. So like I went over a little bit, that's okay because we're going to cut. So just make sure that you go over the pencil with your oil pastel or crayon, and you go all around, and you should have an outline shape hat like this. Once you have that, now you're ready for step 2. So that was easy. Step 2 is the start of the design of the hat. Okay, so back again here, this is an example where we did some designs. And what I would suggest you do is just kind of with this or with any of the templates, you kind of sketch it with your pencil. Not hard, very, very light. Just maybe connect a line here, which you can see in the template. There's like an end here and an end here. Just kind of connect a line. And then I would connect a line up here too, just very lightly. And I'll go ahead and use an oil pastel so you guys can see me better, the gray. I'll just use a gray. That's great. It won't hurt to have that. So you can kind of see the hat. And then what I'd like you to do is go ahead and create bands in the middle that you're going to do your other lines in. So you're going to do a line across, and these are kind of setting the template for your drawing. So you want to do your lines. Now you're ready to have some fun. With the lines that have been set, you can start adding another shade to it. So that was kind of a gray. If you wanted to do a blue right underneath it, you could do a blue right underneath it. You could do blue over here with it and kind of blend it in. What I would do is I do some more lines going down here, and I would start my design right away. Have fun drawing. Kind of add to your hat. What does your hat look like? And that was the dark blue, so now I'm going to take a lighter blue. I'm going to go over it. And then I'll take kind of another lighter blue and go over it. And before too long, you've got kind of an interesting little design going on here. Just kind of keep building on it. That's what art is. You just kind of practice and build on it. And in the middle, we're going to do some patterns. Let me take those colors back here. So I'm going to do some color circles, and I'm leaving some space because I'm going to do some other colors in there and do a little pattern across the top. And you can do anything that comes to mind. I like the blues, and there's lots of shades. You can do shades of orange. You can do shades of red, which is pink. You can do lots of shades. I like gray too. I think gray has a lot of fun to it with winter. So we'll put some gray in there. And so you can see that's kind of a pattern through the middle there. Now we're going to use our shapes. So one of the things that we could do is we could do a triangle shape across the top. And you just go for it. Don't be shy. This is all practice. We are just having fun exploring and drawing, letting our brains go. I did a dark orange there, and now I'm going to highlight it with a light orange around. And that just gives it kind of that value effect, that shading, and it really makes the design pretty cool. So that's basically the idea. And so when you guys are done, this is your drawing part and your decorating part there. Once you're done, that's step 2. So you're done with step 2. Now you're ready for step 3. And here's an example of one I did that is ready to be cut. So step 3 is to cut out, and then you're going to put texture to it. So step 3, you actually go through and you're going to cut along, and I'll do it right here. You're going to cut along the outside of the crayon. Okay. So you want to cut on the outside of the crayon so that you have kind of a cutout there. And then now you're ready for texture. So if we'll pretend it's all cut out, now you're pretty much ready for putting the texture on. And the texture can be a cotton ball or it can be tissue. And I'll use the tissue example. Cotton ball is really easy too. We'll pretend this stuff isn't there. But if you go ahead and put the glue on the top of your hat or wherever you want to put the texture, see, I think texture is cool with the fuzzy ball. Then you want to put the glue stick down there and you want to get a piece of tissue. And what I like to do is just have a strip of tissue. So it doesn't matter what the strip looks like, but you can cut a couple strips of tissue. And all you're going to do is you're going to take that tissue and you're just going to start fitting it in. And it's okay if you can kind of fit it in wherever you want. Tissue is pretty easy to go with the glue. So you just kind of fit it in there on top of that glue stick and then just kind of pat it down. And then just get another strip and kind of go right over top of that and kind of pat it down. You really can't mess this up because it's just fun texture. So you just want to try to kind of tuck it in so you're staying in the lines, but you can always trim that too. So you just stayed in, and you can see we need another strip there to finish, but you can get a feel for how that looks. So, and here's some up close of the cotton ball look. So you can see I just had a little ball. It started off at a little ball, and then I just glued that down, kind of opened it up and glued it down. So you guys can play with the texture. So that's pretty much it. If you run out of time and you're not sure you want to use the cotton ball, which sticks really easily, you can always do texture with your drawings too. If you guys have any questions, ask your teachers. Have fun.